I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome back to another video. For today's video, we're going to be sharing 4 simple and delicious vegan recipes
from Caitlin's brand new cookbook called Simply Delicious Vegan, so very fitting. And we actually used to live with Caitlin, and we know all of her recipes are bomb, so we're super excited to try some from her new book.
She's been working on this book for the past 2 years. She put so much work into it. It turned out amazing. I am so proud of her, and if you want to check out her book, we will have it linked down below. And also, we're going to be giving away a copy of this book with this video as well, so all that info will be in the description box.
And I think that's all we have to say, so let's get cooking.
So for breakfast today, we are going savory, and I saw this sun-dried tomato and spinach quiche in the book, and I immediately knew that is what we wanted to make. And it requires her 3-ingredient multi-purpose dough. It's with flaxseed, almond flour, and tapioca flour. And then the quiche is sun-dried tomato and spinach, like I said, so it sounds really delicious. It looks amazing, and I'm really excited to try it out. We're gonna prep the dough first. In my bowl, I'm adding some tapioca flour, some almond flour, and then some salt. I'm gonna mix that together until everything is nice and uniform. Everything in the book is gluten-free, oil-free, refined sugar-free, and everything is still really tasty and amazing. So once that is nice and uniform, I'm going to add in a flax egg, and flax eggs are just made with flaxseed meal and water. And I'm adding that in. It's a great egg replacement and a great binder, and you can use it in cookies, cakes, pie crust. So the recipe says to work this together with a spatula to start, but then eventually I'm gonna have to switch to using my hands to really get a dough to form. If you hear any talking in the background, my parents are here. They're still here. They're actually gonna be here for the next month. And my mom is working. She's gonna be on a few work calls today, so you might hear her here and there. She might even pop into the video. Who knows? Hopefully she does. So this came together really fast. Wow, look, we got a pie crust. Next, I'm transferring my dough to some parchment paper, and what I'm gonna do is roll it in between 2 pieces of parchment paper just to prevent it from sticking. The only thing about this is it keeps rolling up. It's gonna be a little annoying, but I got it. And this is just going to help me get a nice rolled out pie crust without having it stick on any surfaces. So I'm just gonna roll this out until it is pretty much the size of my hand. Whew. This is a workout. This rolling pin that we have is heavy. I think it's at least 5 pounds, right? More than that. I think this is like
aerobics with it.
I think this thing is like 8 pounds. Wouldn't it be funny if there was like a workout place, but it's like, I feel like it wouldn't be sanitary, but like
squat and stuff.
You're like making food, but then working out. And then at the end you get a nice meal.
There you go.
Something to consider. Our next project. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. I'm hoping. Wow, beautiful. I'm going to take my pie pan. It's a greased pie pan. Doesn't say that in the directions, but I just wanted to be careful. I didn't want, oh yeah, a little too big here, but it's okay. I'm going to flip it somehow. Woo! Okay, I did it. Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it, girl. Girl, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I did it. So I'm laying my crust into my pie pan, like so. And I have some edges that are too big and then some parts that are too small. So I'm going to actually just trim that and then transfer it to the other side and just kind of form everything together. So let's take off some of this extra dough. You guys are gonna see the full process of this coming together right now. And I mentioned this earlier, but I greased the pie pan just in case because I don't know if it's gonna stick. You can also line it with parchment, but I like to do this because it just comes out cleaner. I'm not a baker. I don't bake pies often. I'm trying my best here. Caitlin, sorry, I messed it up. So the pie crust is now ready. I'm going to just put some holes in the bottom with a fork. Now I'm going to just transfer this to my freezer, and in the meantime, I'm gonna prep my filling. So in my pan, I'm going to be adding in some vegetable broth and the onion, and I'm going to saute it until all of the liquid has evaporated, and then let the onion sizzle in the pan for about 15 to 20 seconds. I'm adding more broth to deglaze the pan, and I'm going to stir the onion around with a spatula and repeat with the remaining stock to caramelize the onion. Next, I'm adding in the last of my vegetable broth along with the sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm reducing the heat to medium-low, and I'm going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'm going to fold in the spinach and cook that until it is wilted. It is amazing how that much spinach cooked down so much. I'm going to remove this from heat and set it aside. For the batter of this quiche, we're actually going to be using chickpea flour, and it makes for a great egg replacement. So I'm going to add that to my bowl, along with some nutritional yeast that'll give it nice color and flavor, turmeric, which will also bring that nice yellow eggy color to the recipe, some baking powder, keeps it nice and fluffy, and lastly some salt to flavor up the dish. So I'm going to just mix this together until it is nice and uniform. For the liquid of this recipe, I'm adding in some unsweetened almond milk. I'm sure you can use any plant-based milk. I'm going to whisk that together until a smooth batter comes together. The great part about the recipes in this cookbook is that they're all very simple. They don't require any weird, hard to find ingredients. They don't require any extra, or I wouldn't say unnecessary work, but just they don't require like so many steps. Because look, this vegan egg is already put together. It's really cool. So this is nice and smooth. And I'm going to add in my sun-dried tomato spinach mixture, which looks delicious. And it adds really great color to this recipe. Okay, looks pretty uniform to me. Once the dough has chilled, I'm going to cover it with some aluminum foil. I'm going to grab my pie weights, and this is what's going to help keep the center flat so that when I put the filling in it, yeah, it's nice and flat. You only really have to do this if you're going to pre-bake a pie crust, and it just prevents it from puffing up and getting uneven, and then it'll just keep everything even in the pie. Instead of pie weights, you can also just do dried beans, but I just happen to have pie weights, so I'm going to put those in. And then we're going to pop this into the oven. And now I'm going to transfer my egg mixture to my pie crust. Hopefully I don't drop this, this is quite heavy. There are actually some pre-made pie crusts that are by default vegan if you don't want to make one. This one was really easy to make, but if you just want to buy a frozen one, we have seen vegan options at the store, just if anybody was curious. And I'm just going to spread this out, get it nice and even, and then we're going to pop this into the oven and bake it like you bake a quiche. So the crust is very crispy. If you like a crunchy crust.
I love the sun-dried tomato.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna use like pizza.
I think I am too, because it's gonna be easier to bite. Cheers. That's delicious, Caitlin. Thank you.
I like that a lot.
It was very simple to make. You could probably pre-make the crust, whether you make it and refrigerate the dough, or I think you could probably pre-bake it, because we pretty much fully baked it, and that'll speed things up for you the next day.
Or, as Jasmine mentioned earlier, you can just buy a pre-made crust. Done.
I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but we are going to be giving away a copy of Caitlin's book if you want to enter to win. We have all of the info in the description box down below. So find all that info there, and good luck to all of you. And if anybody wants to purchase this book, I'll have the link down below as well. I highly recommend you do. Also, fun fact, Caitlin trusted me to take photos of her for this book, and I actually photographed the cover, which is really freaking cool. So yeah, I took the photos. I took the photos of Caitlin, and it was a lot of fun.
For lunch today, we are making the Mediterranean rice bake. This looks super good, really easy. You literally just dump everything into a casserole dish for the most part, and then you bake it. So let's get cooking. To start, we're gonna add our broth to our pot. Onion powder, some mint, and then our dill. So now we're gonna bring everything to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, we'll add in our lemon juice. And now to our casserole dish, we're gonna add some chickpeas evenly to the bottom of the pan, and then we're gonna pour over our tomatoes and rice. Now I'm gonna add the broth to our casserole dish, cover it with aluminum foil, and then bake.
All right, so along with our dump and bake, I'm going to be prepping Caitlin's favorite kale salad, and I wanted to make this because we had all of the ingredients and it was really easy to do. So to a bowl, I'm going to first add in some avocado, and nothing fancy with these. I'm just gonna scoop them directly out of the fruit or the flesh, skin, and put it in my bowl. I'm just gonna mash that with my fork, and this avocado isn't as ripe as I would want it to be, but I think it'll be okay. The riper the better here. It'll mash much more easily. All right, I'm also going to be adding in some sauerkraut and some lemon juice, and I'm just going to mix that all together until it is evenly combined. I used to be obsessed with sauerkraut, and I think I overdid it because I used to eat it every single day. and I don't eat it that much anymore because I think I just got tired of it, but I'm excited to eat it again. So now I have a bowl of some kale that I just removed the stems from and I roughly chopped, and I'm going to add in my avocado mixture. Sorry for all the fork noises, I realize that's probably annoying. Using clean hands, I'm just going to incorporate the avocado mixture and start massaging it into the kale. And this really helps to soften the kale and kind of break it down, so it's just easier to eat and it's more enjoyable this way. If you've never massaged your kale, I'd recommend you do so, and you can even do it with just the avocado and the lemon juice and it'll taste really good. But I really like the addition of sauerkraut here for some probiotics and just for some added flavor. This feels really weird. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I wish there was like a spatula that'll do this for you, but all right. So I'm gonna set this aside, and the dump and bake is gonna take like an hour to bake. So we're actually gonna be doing some yoga, and I think that's fitting because Caitlin does a lot of yoga herself. So we're gonna go do that now, and then our lunch will be ready when we're done. Lunch is ready, and the last and final step is we're gonna add some more citrus on it. So we actually have some calamansi, which is like it's a Filipino citrus. My mom actually brought some from back home.
Didn't your aunt send these?
Oh, actually, yeah. My mom brought some, we finished it, and then my aunt sent us another because we can't live without this. And my mom is so used to just going into her tree and picking some every day. I'm jealous because I can't grow it here. But yeah, we're gonna add that on top.
Smells really good.
And this is gonna be a delicious lunch. We actually kind of sampled it already because I was taking pictures and it just smelled delicious. I love dill.
The calamansi is a good touch.
So actually, we're going to Caitlin's this weekend to drop something off. I forgot to tell you. Did I tell you that?
No, I had no idea.
To drop something off, and we should bring her some of these. I don't know if she's tried these before. Caitlin, let us know. I don't know if you're gonna watch this video in full, but let us know.
Sounds good too. Ooh, okay.
Oh no. The only thing about these is they have like so little juice, but it's okay. Oh wow, this is so good. I would love to make, she has a tempeh recipe in her book. I think it would have been really good with this. Next time. Thank you, Caitlin.
How many recipes do you think exist ever?
I guess it's like growing every second.
Probably a lot, I don't know.
Billions?
Why?
It's crazy to think about. I have to be, right?
I think so.
No, I'm not high.
The last recipe we're making today is a sweet and smoky chickpea burger, and this recipe is actually available on our website, sweetsimplevegan.com. Caitlin allowed us to share it to give you a sneak peek of her cookbook. If you want to check it out, we will link it down below. We're starting off with a food processor, and to my food processor, I'm going to be adding in some chickpeas, roasted red peppers, onion, lemon juice, tomato paste, Italian seasoning, smoked paprika, and salt. I'm going to process this until a thick and relatively smooth paste forms, and then I'm going to be adding in some brown rice flour and flaxseed meal to the food processor and going to pulse those in to combine. And then finally, I'm adding in 1 cup of chickpeas and pulsing that until they are evenly incorporated into the burger mixture but still chunky. Next, I'm forming the mixture into patties, and I'm just going to put it onto a lined baking sheet. And now I'm just going to pop these into the oven and bake them until they are golden and crispy. We are finally finished with our recipe, and
Jasmine said I came in with pizza earlier and
Chris
I couldn't
ate
resist,
it,
so
so
I ate an entire calzone. So I'm just gonna share with Jasmine.
so I ended up using the leftover kale salad, and then we made some brown rice. For the burger, we just added some vegan ranch on top. So we just filmed our whole taste test, and the audio, well, our mic
Died halfway
the
through.
receiver, is that what it's called? It just died, and we didn't realize. But basically what we were explaining was the burger is crispy on the outside, but it still has some moisture, and it's just basically
it's
crispy
like
on the outside, soft on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
But this burger's great. And I'm definitely gonna make one, I'm gonna make a double burger tomorrow.
So shout out to Caitlin for all these good recipes. We have loved everything that we ate today, and we definitely recommend you check it out. And this burger recipe is on our website right now. If you want to try it, I highly recommend you do. It is the perfect vegan burger patty. It was really easy to make, packed with flavor, and you can eat it in many different ways, as you see here.
If you want to win a copy of Caitlin's book for yourself, there is all the information down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out.
And make sure you check out the book. I will put the link, the direct link for the book down below as well. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Congrats again on your new cookbook, and we're excited to cook more recipes out of it. And I think that's all we have to say for today.
So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.